Hello and welcome. I'm Nice Angel. Welcome to just the Folf on the road. Thank you for joining me. Alright. Normally you guys know I have a hard time coming up with topics. So, here's the thing. I actually do have one today. Without even asking anybody. Why? Because this happened last night. Well, actually early this morning when I woke up, or tried waking up. That's a little weird. But anyway, I had a dream. Okay, let's not get into politics here. But no, it is actually rare that I dream. Sorry, I'm walking, I'm holding my phone, using the camera to record. You know my whole spiel. So that's why it's shaking. But anyway, it's rare that I dream. And even if it's not that much, it's rare that I can actually recall it. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's a lot to cover. But anyway, this morning, between waking up to my alarm clock, falling back asleep, and then waking up again, I had this weird dream. It started off kind of in a horror movie setup. Like, I knew there was like monsters or something running about. So, which is kind of the weird thing because it didn't feel like a nightmare. I wasn't scared per se. It's just like I knew what to do. So it didn't have that feel of something's after me. So, anyway, as the dream progresses, I bounce between hiding spaces while everybody around me is kind of doing the same thing or being nonchalant about it. And that's when the critters showed up. It was a group of xenomorphs. And I only know this because there were multiples. So, I'm pretty much bouncing between hiding spots. At one point, I end up in this weird... Well, I'm not even sure how to explain where exactly I was hiding, but I ended up in, like, a snack bar. Hiding in a snack bar kind of thing. And one of the xenomorphs finds me. Initially, I'm thinking this thing's trying to kill me. Yeah, it keeps whacking me, but more like, get out of my way, kind of deal. Because it's after the snacks. So I'm just like, you know what? Here, have this. And I just start handing it things. Like boxes of cookie stuff or movie theater candies or whatever it was, bags of chips. And I don't know what happened after that. Because it kind of like, there was this weird chase scene. And then somehow I end up having 3 xenomorphs on dog leads. Like, chained up in a yard. Not like chained down like you would see in one of the movies, but just like dogs in a yard kind of chain. Like the wiry cable chains that you would for like a dog lead. And I don't know what... And again, there's this weird jump where somehow one of the xenomorphs, particularly and I think it was the same one that I was feeding earlier, was actually giving me was actually, was kind of, well, not actually, but anyway, was doing this weird thing. Yeah, I'm getting real close here. Sorry, my arms are a little tired. It was raining, so I had to use my umbrella. But anyway, yeah, sorry, I'm doing this off of the top of my head, so I'm going to pause a lot because I'm trying to think. There ends up being this another jump where this particular xenomorph gets hold of something that allows it to change its appearance. And it decides to take on the form of a woman, a human woman. This has me greatly confused. Well, conscious me, subconscious me, or dream me sees this as perfectly fine. And it's like, okay, now I have a daughter. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I mean, I can't distinctly analyze it myself because I'm putting a lot of my own thoughts into it. Like, a few of the things I can think of off the top of my head is the way the dream progresses is the whole thing starting off as a horror movie, but without the feel of a horror movie. So it kind of leaves the sense of uncertainty, like a known uncertainty or a familiar one, because it's like I'm not scared, but I know the setting. And then confines of actually seeing the monster, in this case a xenomorph, leads into me, in a roundabout sense, confronting my fear. And from there, hills. And from there, confronting, not my fears actually, my uncertainties, the things I'm having doubt about. And then I start feeding it. In a roundabout sense, I start feeding into it. The mere fact that I start handing it junk food. And from there, it just kind of builds onto itself, this whole little world where I've come to accept this uncertainty, and I live with it, not in the sense of it being a burden, but something I care about. Like, the uncertainty isn't even an uncertainty at that point. It's a reality. That something, well, I'm not even sure how to phrase that line of thinking, but it's like, I know, like, somehow I know what it is that's troubling me, and I acknowledge it, but I am actually feeding into it, but not getting the results that I would be expecting. Like, the confines of feeding a monster would, in most nightmare situations, or in most dream situations, the idea of feeding into a monster would make them stronger and more aggressive. Where this one actually made it tame. It's rather confusing. So I just went on with it. And from there, it's like this uncertainty or this thing, whatever this xenomorph is representing to me, actually becomes more and more part of me, part of my life. So it's like I'm making a connection with it, and it's a very strong one. Like I'm nurturing it. But it's just a dream, so I don't know what to make of it. What's your take on it, guys? I'm serious. Have you ever had weird dreams like that? Have you ever had a dream like that? Where the confines of it were unexpected. Where you weren't and I'm repeating myself. Where something you would actually be terrified of or something you should be terrified of wasn't terrifying. It's a little weird, if you ask me. But I'll let you guys mull that over. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. So, as always, thank you for joining me. Push the buttons in whatever order you want. Leave your thoughts, questions, concern, ideas, what have you, down in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Night's Angel. This has been just a Folf on the road. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a better day. Peace.